All right, this is the second hangout, and for this hangout, we will be discussing Bookwizard, Raz Kids, Spritzlet, Crafty Extensions, and UDL Exchange. For my tool that I did Bookwizard, and I can show you guys the website real quick. Whoops. That's not it. What's it doing? Okay, there we go. Okay, so Bookwizards, it's on the Scholastic site, and you can easily just look up any kind of book you want, and as you can see, you can look it up by reading levels, and if you know one book but you want to see if there's anything else like it, you can look it up and find similar books. And I think it's really cool because you can do a reading guide, and you can do it by grade level. So I'll look up a book real quick. And here it pops up, and you can see all the other ones by the same author. And it gives you a nice little description, and also has the grade level and what grade might be reading it and the age level. And I think that's pretty cool. It also gives descriptions about the author and the illustrators, which is cool. And yeah.
I like that you can do a reading guide.
Yeah, and it also has a bunch of other stuff. And I will go to that real quick. You can create an account on Scholastic, and by doing that, you can create your own book lists. Like if you're in a kindergarten class and you want to find a bunch of different books for a certain topic, you can just create a whole bunch of lists, and I think that's pretty cool. And there's also book trailers. You can watch videos about all the different books, and I'm not sure if the authors read them or if it's just someone reading about the book. But also, because it is on the Scholastic site, it has other resources specifically for teachers, like book lists. You can sign up for a free teaching magazine where you can get free ideas and lesson plans and online activities, which I think is really helpful, especially if you're crammed and you can't think of ideas or anything like that. And yeah.
Cool.
That's pretty cool. It's cool. Kids can get more in depth with than just the book, so they can find out about the author, books like it. It kind of gives them stuff that we never had when we were younger, and it lets them explore more literature on their own, within their own like tastes and frame of reference. That's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
The book trip is a great idea.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Did you guys have any other questions about it?
So it's free to sign up, right?
Yes, it is free to sign up. And but if you did want to get a book, you would have to pay for
purchase the book
through the site.
So that's good for the author then too.
Yes, it is.
It'd be like really good for like reading groups, so like you could have like all these similar books.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they can use. Yep.
Okay. All right. Are you ready, John?
Yeah, definitely. So it's cool that you did that first, because Raz Kids is kind of a similar concept. It's a book site for kids, but it's a little bit more based on teachers to do assigned work, like homework, maybe out of school work. You can use it in the classroom as well. It's also free to sign up, and I'll go there. Let's see. So as a teacher, and there's not a whole lot I can do to show you, because basically what you do is when you first sign in, you come in, and the point of this is you add all the students in your class. It's not totally free. You get a 2-week trial, and then you have to pay, but I believe you can go in through your school, and schools will purchase the rights for you to come in here and use this if the school's interested, so you'd have to advocate for it. But so you can add your students, and then, you know, they can begin to use it as, you know, you can just give an assignment in class during the school day, and then you can check to see if they've done it or not, and how they do it. So the first thing you do is you'd go in and you add your students. Cool things about it is you can, there's a bunch of different ebook features, which is, you know, as we go back, relating it back to UDL learning concepts, the students can look at videos, they can get hypertext to click on things to give them more resources on the information that they're looking at. They can get different pictures, audio clips. So this is kind of cool. So, you know, it's there for the student. You don't have to be there in the classroom saying, well, I have this. If you know, if you have trouble with this kind of information, there's this and there's this. They can click on it themselves and look at it. So the interactive ebooks is really cool. You can also get response questions to gauge how much they've learned. You can really use this as a teaching resource more than just like an ABC mouse, which is like, you know, play some games, let me know what you think. This is really something you can follow along with, and you can manage your, you know, students, and you can go on and get all kinds of different tips about future assignments. So I can't really show you too much more, because you'd have to have students to add really to start to get into the program. So kind of like what you were doing, what you showed, but a little bit more assignment based than really you know, your thing, which is more like a library.
Do you select a book and then do the assignment?
Yeah, well, you select what you want them to read. So whatever the assignment is, it doesn't necessarily have to be a book. It could be an article or some other form of literature, and then you basically say, I want you to do this, and then you monitor their progress, and you can select questions or any kind of things like that.
Okay.
So do they have to have like a computer or a tablet or something like that?
Yeah, they have to have access to the internet. It's all online. So
okay.
yeah, it's not something they could do without it.
So you just pick like a certain book for them to do, and then like you can assign certain questions.
If that's what you wanted to do. I mean, that's really like entry level. There, you can get more complex with it. Testing questions. They can write you questions. You can do little book reports. There's all kinds of activities and ways to gauge, you know, if they're doing the assignments and how successful they are with it.
Okay. That's
Cool. That's all I got.
okay. So now we can move on to Kayla.
So I looked at Spritzlet, and it's a tool that helps with reading, and it helps the students to focus on like what they're reading, so they're not like distracted by other things. And I just pulled up like a little poem, and I'll show you how it works. So it shows up in your bookmarks bar, and then you just highlight whatever you want to Spritzlet, and then it'll pop up word by word, so you can change
Oh.
it.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Is there audio with that too?
No, there's no audio. It's just you just have to read it. So like you can slow it down if you like read slower.
Okay.
That's cool.
It's really easy to use. Like you just have to put it in your bookmarks. That's the only problem I had was on my tablet. I couldn't figure out how to put it in my bookmarks. But like once you get it in your bookmarks, you can highlight any part, and you just click on it. So, like it would be really good if like the students were like if they had ADD or had like any trouble like focusing.
It would be interesting if they could make an audio extension for that, for children that have trouble processing any kind of written text, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Well, only problem, like, is, like, you have to, like, adjust the speeds and everything. Well, it's kind of like, it almost reminds me of when they use their finger to, like, read along. It's almost like the internet version of that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
like a
so
magnifying
this is
glass.
another one where you would need a computer or some kind of visual
Yeah, it
for the
has to be
students.
on a website.
Okay. All right. So now we can see what Lindsay has.
Okay, so for this one, Crafty Extensions, it's basically a site for small Google Chrome extensions. It would be used for like teachers in the classroom, speakers, or someone that's like kind of going to present something. What it is there's different extensions that you can add to Google Chrome. There's Crafty Text, which displays the text large so that the class can read it. You can show them single words, web addresses, whatever the case is. There's Crafty Level, which shows you the grade level for any web page. For example, like 6.3 would be 6th grade, which would be suitable for that grade, obviously. Crafty Rights it searches images that are free to use or share for copyright concerns. So it did say it's not guaranteed to like not violate copyright, but it's a better tool to use to search for something that can be free and used in the classroom. There's Crafty Cursor, which is it highlights the position of the mouse cursor. It's good to use for like hangouts when you're showing somebody something on like a hangout like this, or other virtual meetings. That way everyone can follow along where you're reading. Crafty Zoom is a magnifying glass, and it's for your cursor in which you can zoom into sections of the web page. So if there's like a certain, even an image, you can put the cursor over the image and it'll zoom the image in. Crafty Copy is it's new and it lets you export your extensions to add to a new Google account to Chrome, so you don't have to do individual add-on extensions at that point. I think definitely the most important would be the Crafty Text, just to display large text for them to read or see. I think the Zoom would be relevant as well when you're reading a document. And then one thing I did see was a lot of reviews on the Crafty Text. And it was, I guess a lot of people were confused how you get out of it once you have the extension, you click on the extension, and then you put in, what text you want large. And then so a lot of people were confused about how to get out of it, but apparently all you do is click the CT extension and it will disappear. So if you don't like make an account or anything like that, it's just basically a tool that you download into your browser. Pretty cool.
And so you can add it onto your Google, like where you have all your little apps in the corner. Like you can add the extensions on into there.
I think it's up at the top. I want to say like the toolbar.
Oh, okay, okay. That makes sense.
That's kind of what it looked like when I was, clicked on each one. It's very vague. I mean, the website is very, very vague as to, like, there's only those categories that I was saying, the Crafty Text, level, rights, and so on. There's only those on there that you can click on and download them. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's a contact link, and then there's an about us, but it's like one sentence. It says it's helpful to teachers. So it's very vague. It's not.
So you kind of have to figure it out on your own.
Well, I think it's just very simple in the fact that you're downloading it to your browser. So once you download it, which I did not do, there's probably other options.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's probably more user-friendly than the website.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
So, like,
And that's it.
you think it's just its own bar? Like its own toolbar, or it shows up on your toolbar?
On your toolbar, on your browser,
Okay.
on your Google Chrome. Like when you bring up Google Chrome, I feel like it's at the top.
Okay.
Okay, that one sounds pretty pretty nifty. It has a bunch of different things that you can
Yeah.
do with it. It's not just for teachers, so, and,
Right.
Cool.
okay. All right, so we had one more from you, John.
Yeah, this one's kind of different, a lot more all-encompassing. It's UDL Exchange, and I think it's probably one of the most prolific tools that we have from our tool list, especially if going back to the first exercise we did with Universal Design Learning. I don't know if you remember, trying to do little mini lesson plans with that. I don't know about you, but I found that difficult, only because you're trying to encompass so many different learning styles and different ability levels and approaches to learning that kids have. And I can't imagine that gets easier as you go along. I mean, there's some things like with experience you can learn how to do quickly, but the UDL learning process is something that I think is always a constant. It's going to be, this is just, I'm assuming that it's going to be something that is going to be a challenge all throughout our teaching careers. So they came up with this website, and I'm going to pop in on the screenshot. It's called UDL Exchange. It's by CAST, and it is also free to create an account. And it really, this is a massive website. It's got lots of different things. So just entry level, when you look at it, you have UDL resources, lessons, which I've already used that, and collections. So that's kind of surface level. So UDL resources, you can browse different types of resources, and it's got everything from articles, tools, as you can see, we've talked about Kahoot before, different Pearson software. I mean, it has all kinds of different things, resources to help you teach. And you can go through what it is, who wrote it, all kinds of stuff like that. So, this is in the first tier of this website, you've got that. And then you have lessons, and you can browse lessons. So you can use prefabricated lessons. As you can see, these people have already made these lessons, and you can just jump in and use them if you like them. And again, you can search by teacher, description. You can filter through all kinds of different things, resources, collections. Let me go back. So there's that, or you can create your own lessons through templates, which they have there. I'm going to click on that because that you get into a screen with all kinds of different options, and then you have collections, which is right here. And through collections, it's got, again, all kinds of different articles, different lessons, different units. I mean, it has all kinds of different things. But another thing that is interesting about the collections is you get into kind of a social media aspect, because this is a collaborative website also. It's not just something you click on and it's kind of got no personality. You can start to network with other professionals and learn, like, in your grade level or in your subject. So if you're going to be a math teacher, you can find other math teachers. And as you discover resources, you can tag them and say, hey, check this out. And they can do the same thing for you. And then you can create lists that they can look at of different things, of different lessons, of different resources, all kinds of stuff. And the more you use this, the more it will help you, because the more you'll connect with other teachers. So I think this is really, really valuable, because, like I said, I think that's a really daunting challenge in teaching nowadays, is trying to design lessons that all kids can really digest. And you can just go through the website is really massive, and you can take your time and look in like different areas, different grade levels. It's got Common Core standards on it, different medias, image. As you can see, you can add anything you want to your lessons through this. So I think this is a valuable tool, and it's free. You don't have to pay for it. So I'm excited about this. And like I said, when we had the one thing where we had to do a lesson, I actually got some ideas from this website of how to set up a lesson to teach about technology. Because I was kind of clueless, and I got on it, and I felt a lot better just having. And I didn't actually take anyone's lesson; it just gave me ideas, and that's like scratching the surface of the amount of information that's on here.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I like that you can create a list, and others can see it, and you can see others.
Yeah. So I
like how it's really interactive, so you can talk with other teachers and get more ideas. And
it's definitely something that you guys should all play around with, and I would recommend, and you definitely sign up for an account. And it's through CAST, and CAST is a company that has all kinds of other teaching resources. So and most of them are free. I mean, not everything's free, but most of them are. And it's just the more you can get into that, the more help you'll have with it. If you see one person whose ideas you didn't really like, you can, well, I'm not going to look in their department. I'm not going to look at their list. You know, it's really it's really collaborative, and I think it's really a great idea.
If you build something, like if you build a lesson, like you can like post it and everyone can see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Facebook where like you're going to post it publicly and it's going to be up there. Obviously, you can see it's a huge database with all types of resources. So that's kind of where the social networking aspect comes in. Like you're networking with other professionals and getting to know people that have similar interests, similar professions, similar professional directions. And then you can post that as your list, and they can look at your list. So it's not like something that's going to pop up on a news feed. They have to be interested in looking at your resources and what you've collected.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Right. That one sounds very, very cool, very useful. It has a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's definitely, I would definitely recommend that you look around, especially as you go along in the program, because you're going to have to write lessons and you're going to be stumped at some point, and you want to make sure that you have every angle so you can hit every student.
Yeah. Okay. All right. These were all very cool tools.
Yeah.
I definitely liked hearing about them. Okay, so I think that is it for this hangout. And
cool.
Until next time.
See you guys next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.